Hello, moviegoers, my brothers, and sisters. This is Alberto, aka Destroyer 48, and today I'm gonna do my movie review of House of a Thousand Corpses, directed by Rob Zombie, starring Bill Moseley as Otis and Sherry Moon Zombie as Baby. Um, so here it is, House of a Thousand Corpses. All right, we're gonna jump into this, and what you're gonna get out of this is I'm going to put in scenes from the movie, and what I do is if you've seen this movie already, and I'm gonna repeatedly say this, if you've seen this movie already, well, you're gonna get my opinion on it, and if you haven't seen this movie, I'm not gonna give the ending. Spoiler alert! I'm not gonna give the ending away, so you can see you can hear from what I tell you about the movie from the scenes, and then you determine whether this movie's worthy of you watching. All right, let's jump into it. Um, you're gonna get to this. It's like a kind of like a convenience store, kind of, but no, it has all these weird items in it, and it's run by Captain Spaulding. And you're gonna see right before this store, whatever you call it, it's a weird store. I don't know what y'all call it. Outback, whatever, sightings, I don't know. In the front, you're gonna see Sheriff Frank Hudson. He's just feeding his dog. He's there with a sheriff car. And inside, you're gonna see Captain Spaulding. This guy is a tall, really tall dude. I don't know. He's probably like 6'6", 6'7", and he's in a clown outfit. He has this thing for clowns, and he's talking to Stucky. And they're talking about weird stuff, and I'll probably jump into a little bit of weird stuff. Stucky's like a midget older man, and he's talking. He has this. It's weird. He has this naked picture of I don't know who. It's like a kind of a Marilyn Monroe old picture, and he wants to trade off to somebody else. And he makes a big deal about this person that's really weird that I don't know, likes to jerk off, and he says he likes to get his a pencil and put it around the eye. So you already know that Stucky and Captain Spaulding, and Captain Spaulding goes about the pencil. I know where he's sticking that, where that's he's sticking no, he's sticking that pencil. Another place he's sticking it. So I'm like, okay. So they're talking about that, and I've seen this so many times. I know a lot of parts about this movie. They have the restroom, and supposedly, Stucky wants to use the bathroom, and and Captain Spaulding actually gives him a big monster hand. I guess it's some kind of key thing to make sure you don't, where a lot of convenience stores have. It's attached to a key, and so you don't lose it. It has a big hand on it, whatever. And he goes, if you clog up that restroom, that toilet one more time, I'm gonna clog this up your butt, kind of deal. And then Stucky's like, I hear you. Stucky goes to the restroom, and so you get Captain Spaulding. He's there scratching his back with something, and these two robbers come in. They're huge dudes. They have ski masks, and they want to rob Captain Spaulding, and these guys are like, give us all your money and all that. Captain Spaulding's like giving them the finger. He shows no fear whatsoever, so he is a badass. He is a badass at this point that you know. Um, One of the main bank robber tells the other one, "Hey," the other one just has a little monkey mask and he's huge. It's ridiculous. He goes, "Go get that other guy out of the restroom," and he does. He takes him out, and then Captain Spaulding, the guy with the gun, keeps talking to Captain Spaulding. Captain Spaulding keeps throwing him f bombs, bad words, and it's funny when the other guy gets stuck out of the restroom. He comes out holding his books. I mean, so it's just showing he's not a good bank robber, and he's the one with the monkey face. And I mean, you don't do take orders from the prisoners or who you're holding up. It's you have to be demanding whatever. Why are you going to be carrying out his book? So he's not very good, and he starts stuttering and all that. And they still have him at gunpoint, And Captain Spaulding even gets one of his chickens. He says sells chickens at this place, at his store. And he's like, I'm gonna take this chicken to your mama, and I don't know what. He's still talking back to him, and it's like they got him. They got. And it's funny because when they tell Captain Spaulding to put his hands up, he throws his two bad fingers out, and Stucky's just there watching. Stucky starts picking on the bank robber's not very good, saying he's little wick, prickle your stick or I don't know what. He's like, stop saying that. It's like he's like, I know who you are. So once again, Captain Spaulding and Stucky show no fear to these robbers. But they got him. They got both of them have their guns at Stucky and Captain Spaulding. And what happens is a huge guy that's usually outside the you're gonna see later is at the outside the convenience store. He's mascots in a costume, whatever. Well, he comes in and he bangs one of the robbers with a bag from behind. He comes through the front entrance, bags one of them from behind, and then Captain Spaulding shoots the other robber, and there they go. They're dead. They're taken care of. And the big guy is Reveille. His name's Reveille. It does. I do not think it's he's in the. It says in the movie. I had to look up. Maybe I had to look in the credits, but I had to look at Wikipedia what his name was, and Stucky as well. I don't think they mentioned their names. So they have taken Captain Spaulding. Stucky really didn't do anything. Well, he did. He was making fun of the other one, bringing down his confidence down. So he did do something, but Reveille and Captain Spaulding did most of the work, physically taking him out, hitting one in the back, and then Captain Spaulding shooting the other robbers. They go down. So that's the end of that. And you have to think. Remember, the sheriff Frank Hudson was outside, so I guess he took off and because he's a sheriff, he would have intervened. I mean, his sheriff car was outside. He was pumping gas and feeding his dog. So I am assuming that the sheriff took off because he would have intervened, of course. Oh, anyway, so that's that. I don't want to say it's questionable because he probably left. I guess that's what happened there. Now you're gonna get to the main stuff where you're gonna have a car with Bill and Jerry. Bill is a taller guy with glasses. Jerry's a shorter guy with long hair. You see them driving along, and Bill is getting after Jerry because Bill asked him, "Hey, we're almost out of gas. How much you put?" And Jerry's like $2 or $3, and Bill gets after him, dude. That's like Jerry, that's not enough gas. And then Jerry gets back it up. And then he started complaining in the car, start arguing. And Bill is like, they start fighting, and then they start talking about who should be driving. And then Jerry says, no, Bill says, why don't you do, no, yeah, oh, Bill says something about I need to drink a lot of coffee, and then Jerry's like, you drink too much coffee, and then Bill's like, well, why don't you take care of most of the driving? He's like, I can't see at night. You want us to crash and stuff like that. They start arguing, whatever, and then they need to gas up. So Jerry's like, there's a Captain Spaulding place. Let's go gas up there so you don't freak out. And they're arguing. They get there. They finally get to Captain Spaulding's place. Weird store place, and Jerry goes inside to check what's up. Bill is gassing up the car, and then you hear this word boss. They're like, Jerry's like, this place is boss, and Bill's like, get the girls out of boss. So now they mention two girls, and I will talk about them right now. But and it's weird because that's really the first time I heard the word boss. I feel dumb because I'm sure a lot of people used it back then. A little bit before my time, but boss, I guess, obviously means cool. They're gonna wake up the girls, which is Denise and Mary. Now, you're gonna see that Denise is Jerry's girlfriend, and it looks like Mary is Bill's girlfriend. And they're gonna wake them up, but they're gonna wake them up in a little bit. But first, they go check out the store. And the store has a bunch of weird stuff. It has crocodiles and mummies, and it has a bunch of weird stuff. It has bunnies with antlers, stuff like that. Pretty interesting stuff. Uh, Bill starts talking. They're looking around first, and then Bill starts talking with Captain Spaulding. And it looks Captain Bill is asking questions like, "Hey, when did you open up the store?" Captain Spaulding's like, "Oh, when my dad passed away, when the Oscar and when John Wayne won the Oscar. If y'all don't know who John Wayne is, he's a big cowboy store, cowboy actor. And he's an American symbol. Actually, he's Big Cheese. You need to know who John Wayne is and look up your history because this guy is huge, huge in and your grandparents and fathers and stuff. If y'all are older, I mean younger adults, they're gonna know who John Wayne is. They're gonna you know who John Wayne is? That guy surpasses time, man. It's almost endless. And Captain Spaulding has uh he has a tattoo of John Wayne, and Bill is like, I'm a space boy, whatever. And then and then Captain Spaulding moves. I mean, the tattoo's right here of John Wayne's face. He starts. Well, he moves it. Well, circle up the Cowboys, Williams, whatever, because this guy is known for doing cowboy movies. And then after that, then Bill tells him that, hey, I'm into space and I'm into robots, being all dorky as usual, and they're being guys. They're acting dorky. And Bill was asking him, "What if you were to go cross country?" And the captain was, "Well, I don't." And then Bill says, "No, let's say if you were that." And then Captain Spaulding goes, "But no, I don't." So at this point, it looks like Bill is getting on Captain Spaulding's nerves, and Captain Spaulding is talking behind the counter, and he actually goes around and confronts Bill, and and Captain Spaulding's like, "Y'all think we're all funny folk and all that stuff." He thinks that they're making fun of him. And Bill goes, "No, I'm not trying to make fun." And Captain Spaulding looks like getting irritating. He even puts his hands on Bill. And Bill's getting scared. He's like, "I'm getting to get scared." And he even yells, "Jerry." And then Captain Spaulding says, "Gotcha." He was just joking with him. And and I like there's a reference where Captain Spaulding says, "How long?" I don't know what. They're talking about length, time, and something. You go, "How long is a yarn?" And he goes, "Too damn long." I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. That was pretty cool. And Captain Spaulding's like, "Why are you asking all this stuff?" And then Jerry goes, readers like to read about weird stuff. You'd be surprised." And then Captain Spaulding goes, "Son, look around. You think I'd be surprised?" It's a joke because he's already around all the weird stuff, with the bunnies having antlers and all this mummy stuff. The store is loaded with weird stuff. All right. So that's when Bill, no, is it? No, it's Jerry. Jerry goes to go get the girls, their girlfriends, and he says, and they're asleep in the back. And he goes, "Hey, there's actually a murder ride in here," and and they're like, "Yeah, do we have to get up?" And then the other girl wakes up. The other girl, "We gotta go for the murder ride," and they're like, "Why don't we?" One of them says, "Why don't we don't go for the murder ride?" And then Jerry's like, "Why don't we go?" And this is like my favorite part. I mean, it's awesome. I don't know why I like it very much. They're gonna go on the murder ride, and it's funny because when they're in the murder ride, I mean, it's actually inside the store. Uh, it looks like a ride. You're like some like in a carnival or Disneyland, whatever. It's like a cart with four wheels, except it's not gonna go on its own. They're gonna get Revilli, the guy that smacked the guy during the robbery, the huge guy. They're gonna get him to push it, okay? And then Captain Spaulding, there's a part in front of the cart where he has a place to sit, and then he's gonna talk about the displays, and then it's like a scary murder ride. So it they're in the car and they're about to begin, and then Captain Spaulding like hold on to your seats, here we go, and then Jerry Jerry gets up and says he wants to ask a question, or he goes, oh no, he goes, ah, and then Captain Spaulding says, "Sit your ass down." And then Jerry says, "Sorry, Captain Spaulding. I mean, they talk real fast. It was real funny." They go and they start the murder ride, and then once they go in the murder ride, Ravili is pushing that cart, and Captain Spaulding is pointing to displays, and they have all these displays of murderers, and they even have bodies. I think they even have a Wolfman face. It has all this weird stuff, and he's telling stories. There's talking. He's telling stories of this one murderer that liked to have nails in his crotch and all this weird stuff. Wow, and he mentions this guy. I mean, this is gross. He likes to play with women's body parts. I mean, all this weird, horrifying stuff. And he finally starts talking about Dr. Satan. Now, Dr. Satan, they say that this guy was working in a mental institution, whatever, and he was using his patients as victims. And then vigilante justice finally prevailed, and they actually hung Dr. Satan. And then he says, "Oh, Dr. Satan is not too far from here, and it's at a tree near I don't know where, and it's not too far. So come check it out." And they are done with the murder ride, which shows all this weird stuff. They finally get out. They get out of the doors. All of them get out. Mary, Denise, Bill, and Jerry. And it's funny. I like what Jerry does is I like weird stuff, and I pay attention to. Jerry comes out like Dr. Satan. He comes out the door, Dr. Satan, pretending he has a cleaver like Jason Voorhees, and he's like, "Wait until Dr. Satan finds you." He's imitating Captain Spaulding, but not to make fun, with delight, like he really enjoyed it. And Mary's with Bill, and Mary's like, "It wasn't that great." And then Bill is like, "Yeah, he's supporting his chick. Yeah, it wasn't that great either." And then Jerry says, "Don't be downplayed in front of your chick." And then Jerry so says, and then freaking Bill, Jerry starts walking away, and Bill kicks him in the butt. He walks away. And then Jerry says, "Thank you, may I have another," or something like that. I don't know. I like that crazy stuff. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I was entertained. I liked it. Denise tells him she has to make a phone call. She makes a phone call. She calls her dad. Her dad is Don Willis, I believe. Don answers Denise's phone call, and she's like, "We're gonna be that late. We've been to this place called Captain Spaulding's, and I don't know where." And Denise's dad says, "Well, don't come too late," and he gives some information, something about their change. It's actually on Halloween or the eve of Halloween, something like that. And he goes, "They changed. No, it has to be Halloween because he sees the little kids trick or treat, and he goes, they changed. Oh, they changed it. It wasn't actually. I think it was Halloween. It gets confusing because Don says that Halloween they changed the day there because it's still on a school night. So I believe it's Halloween Eve, and they changed it at Don's place. Not that it really matters, but it's just kind of weird. I've never really heard of a town changing Halloween because of a school day. Anyways, so Jerry goes back to the store, and talking to Captain Spaulding on the counter again. Well, not again. This is his first time, because the first time was Bill, now it's Jerry, and Jerry is asking for directions for that tree where supposedly they hang Dr. Satan. And then Dr. Spaulding gets he gets a notepad, writes it down. "You are here. You go down here, here, and if you can't find it, tough. You go down this road, and you can't find it, tough. Remember, it's close to where they're at." And then Jerry says, "I'm gonna give you a good review for this." And then Captain Spaulding says, "Yeah, yeah." So all four of them are, they're gonna go in the car, and they're gonna go look for this place. They go try to look for the place, and it starts raining. It starts raining hard, and then they see a girl on the side of the road, and it's Baby, played by Sherry Moon Zombie, which is actually the director of this film. They are actually married in real life, and and I hope my well, I'm gonna say it. It's because I got a wife, but I have to say that Cherry Moon Zombie is hot, so I hope I don't get in trouble. She's one of these attractive girls, which are full. All of them have figures. Nobody's hardly ever overweight in these films. Anyways, baby is on the side of the road. She has an umbrella. They pick her up, and the girls don't want to pick her up, but Bill and Jerry are like, yeah, let's pick her up. I mean, it's raining hard. They pick her up, and it's kind of good concerning Jerry, because Jerry's gonna, hey, maybe you're from around here, right? He's kind of like, hey, do you know where Dr. Satan's tree is? And baby's like, yeah, I know where it is. And she's like, it's close to my house. So they put baby in the front with Bill and Jerry, and the girls are in the back. And she's playing around with them a little bit. They're still going in the car trying to find this place, and they're like, where is it exactly again? And she's like, I don't know. And then the girls in the back like, she doesn't know anything. And and she goes, yeah, I know where it's at, whatever. And pull in here. They're gonna go into her property to go drop her off at her house. When they get inside, there's somebody with a shotgun and shoots out one of the tires. So with tires out, now they're in trouble, and now it's very muddy. And Bill's like, somebody needs to get off, whatever. Go talk to him about getting a tire or whatever. And she goes, and baby goes, oh, I got a brother that has a tow truck. I'll help you out. So Bill's gonna go with baby. And I think they're gonna. Oh, the main reason Bill goes is to get a hold of a phone for ask for help or whatever. But baby says her brother has a tow truck, so we're gonna see what happens. They get to the front door of baby's house, and baby has all these weird dolls. They're like nailed to the doors and stuff like that, and the walls of the front of the house. So this is a red flag already that they are not in a good place. Baby's like, I'll go around back, stay up here, and I'll open the door. Um, Bill is observing, looking at the dolls, and then baby comes to the front door and scares Bill like right away, because look at, he's freaked out with the dolls. And he's like, man, you scared the crap out of me. Don't do it again. She's like, stop being a baby. She brings him inside. She brings him inside, and they put Bill on the couch. He's relaxing and stuff. And then baby gets into her jammies. I mean, they're not really jammies. They're tight, like jammies, is it provocative, like sexy kind of stuff. And she takes Bill's glasses. Bill makes reference to there's a bull in the wall, and he goes, "Hey, that bull, no, it's a moose, my bad. That moose probably had to go really fast to get to that wall, because he has a moose head right over the fireplace." I mean, he's just making these. He's going like, boom, 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 making. I mean, he's like acting weird. That's the way these guys act. I mean, they're kind of cool. I would think I'd want to hang out with them. And I like baby goes, what, you flirting with me? And then once again I said, like, she took his glasses. She brings him hot cocoa. He's drinking the cocoa, and that's pretty cool because it was raining a lot outside. Uh, and then you still got the girls still stuck in the mud in the car, and you got Jerry still there. And it's gonna be Rufus. Rufus is the one that shut off their tires. So I'm gonna bring it out right now. And Rufus came with a tow truck. They have the light going ding, ding, ding. And he had scared him first because he started banging on the front of the hood of the car. And the girl starts screaming, ah! And then Jerry's with them, and he goes, geez, it's just a tow truck operator. And he lifts their car, he takes the car, and then now he's going to take him back to the house where Denise, Jerry, and Mary are going to go in the house. So they're all in the house now. They're all in the house hanging out with baby, and Denise is asking, do you have a phone? And they're giving him stupid remarks. Then enters mother Firefly. And it's funny when they ask baby if they have a phone, she's ignoring the girl, like watching TV with Bill's glasses still on. And then enters Mother Butterfly. She asks Mother Butterfly, do you have a phone? And Mother Butterfly, oh, by the way, Mother Butterfly is an older, voluptuous lady. You could say attractive, I guess. but she's older. She's probably like, I don't know, at least 50s, 55 to 60. That's what I would think. Um, and Mother Butterfly, we have no phone. And then they do make reference to Tiny. They're talking about somebody named Tiny, and they're like, "Hey, there's Tiny or whatever." And they're like, can Tiny give us a lift home or something like that?" And they're like, "Oh, Tiny don't even have a bicycle," and they're all laughing at Tiny. They do make reference that's, and they also bring up Rufus Jr. I already brought it up. Rufus Jr. is the tow truck guy. They call him RJ, and um, they're gonna go. They're talking a little bit. They're in the sofa, whatever. But now they're gonna eat, and when they eat, they're gonna meet Grandpa. Grandpa Hugo, and they're all at the dinner table. Grandpa Hugo's there, and Hugo. They all have given masks to put on. One of the girls doesn't want to put on a mask. It's a Halloween mask because it's Halloween Eve, and he's like, "We're not gonna eat until you. They're not gonna let us eat until you put it on." So she, I believe it's Mary that didn't want to put it on, so she does put it on, and then Jerry's acting like a jerk as usual. He has a mask on. It mask has like little holes to breathe in. He's pretending he's poking his nose. That's pretty pretty funny stuff. I believe it's still raining outside, and then you're gonna meet Otis. Otis comes in. Um, and he's played by Bill Mosley, I believe. And Otis comes in with a jar. He comes with a jar and, like with water and stuff, those weird things you see in science class sometimes, or in like Doctor Frankenstein kind of deal or Mad Scientist kind of deals. It has water in it. It looks like a pygmy. The first thing I see is it looks like a pygmy, and to tell you the truth, I don't know exactly what it is. And that's weird because Mother Fi- uh, Mother Firefly, she goes to it. She names it. I don't to tell you the truth, I don't remember the name. I don't care. She kisses it, and it's a thing where you're not gonna remember the name because it's just so weird. And then, of course, all of them are freaked out. Their guests, Mary, Denise, Jerry, and Bill, they're all freaked out. And I like this part. Let's see if I get it. Um, Jerry starts. He still has his obsession with Doctor Satan. He goes, "Is Doctor Satan around here, whatever?" And then Otis tells tells him saying that don't bother with Doctor Satan. And then they all say, like Jerry says, "Oh, well, we heard from Captain Spaulding about Doctor Satan." And then Otis is like, he did that old man selling his junk. He doesn't know crap." And I remember Otis said something weird like, holy man, holy, sir is a live one." Some kind of weird joke. You gotta see it. He's just saying a bunch of weird stuff. Oh, by the way, I forgot. They have in custody. Have some. They've captured some cheerleaders, and I think they were captured from Rugsville. I think. And supposedly these girls went on a Dr. Sane trip too, and they've been captured and they've been tortured by Otis. And some have already died. You see one scene where there's a cheerleader and Otis has like a switchblade and is carving her back with it, and he's going like this and carving her and killing her. And I believe there may have been like two cheerleaders left alive or one. There was four of them, I believe. Anyways, and Otis had already taken care of some of them, and I think there should be still one alive. So I do not even see the group eat the food. Grandpa's the one who's only eating. That's what I saw. That's all I remember. You look at it, you hardly ever see the other ones. They're more listening than eating. Because they gave them food to eat, and it's funny because when they're talking about Jerry wanting to know about Dr. Satan, Grandpa Hugo's like, because because Jerry says, "I really want to know about Dr. Satan," and then Grandpa Who goes, "Come on, tell him, Otis. He would really like to know." And then Grandpa Hugo says, "What? Do you think he's so and so from the Daily A-hole?" The name he uses is like that kid from Superman, the reporter, that one that's under Superman or Clark Kent. I forget his name, but that's one of my favorite parts. He's from. You think he's oh, Billy Olsen, whatever his name. I don't. I'm sorry, I forget. Billy Olsen from the Daily A-hole. And then Mother Butterfly's like, like, shut up, don't be saint. Like, watch your language, whatever. Although they're killing, watch your language, but they're killing people there at that house. Because you already know, because of the 4 cheerleaders. They've already killed two, and there's like 1 or 2 left, whatever. I don't know, they killed 3, whatever. We'll see. And and then from there, Grandpa goes a little crazy, and it turns out that now they're somewhere else. They're like in a small theater they made, and Grandpa Hugo is up on a stand saying jokes, and he's saying really ugly jokes, disgusting jokes, and Jerry is having a field of it. Jerry looks like he's the only weirdo that's laughing at the jokes. You don't see Denise, and you don't see Mary, and you don't see Bill laughing. Only Jerry. So Jerry's clapping at all these jokes that Grandpa's saying. He's just not saying jokes. He's yelling jokes, and he's wearing these perverted jokes about female genitalia and just yelling. And sometimes you think the jokes are not even funny, but he's yelling all these jokes. And then after Grandpa Hugo is done with his act, and Jerry finally finishes laughing because Hugo's off. Now Baby has been dressed up. She's dressed up like, you want to think like Marilyn Monroe, but you're gonna find out she's more into, I think it's Gina Davis is the name. Now I need to go back a little bit back. They do show when because Baby is all makeup up like a doll, whatever, and a sexy outfit kind of deal, like to go out or to perform. No, actually it's to perform. And I have to go back to the when they were eating, because remember I was confused of how many cheerleaders they killed. Well, it shows Baby is at her, I guess, her room, and there's a dressing mirror, and she's getting made up to do this act for the young group. And she does have a cheerleader there that's tied up. She's tied up with her sitting down, and her legs are out on a bed or something. And then I never forget, Baby has a little animal, like a stuffed animal, kind of raccoon. I don't know what. I forgot what it was. She goes on she's mocking the cheerleader, and she's putting this little animal and making it like walk like with her hand, kind of deal, going. So we see it. I only see one cheerleader. That one cheerleader that's alive. So they probably killed the other 3 already. She like on the leg and stuff like that, mocking her. Now let's go back. We already went to the stage where Hugo has already finished his act. Now, like I said, Baby's there now, and Baby's doing this act. I want to say she'd be like Jenny Davis, but why she make it up? She looks like a clown. She has powder all over her face. She's made up to look like a clown. I don't know. I get the dress. She could look, and her hair looks like Gina Davis, but why are you painting a clown? Now I'm mentioning Gina Davis because she's gonna mention later on that Gina Davis is her favorite actor. So anyway, so she's playing this act, and she's singing this song. I don't know. I wanna be rubbed by you and do that kind of stuff, and she has her mic singing. You see, Grandma Mother Flies on stop. This is like a real. It's kind of like pretending to be a stage. She actually upstage. She has a light that's flashing down on Baby. So man, this is really weird stuff. And then the camera's gonna show that Bill, Mary, and Denise are all like with their mouths open. They can't believe it. Jerry's the only weirdo that's like, oh. I hate to admit it, I'd probably be like Jerry, except I'd be scared. But I like that weird stuff. I like quirky, weird stuff. I am a minority. I'm not like everybody else. Everybody else likes a lot of still comedy. I like crazy crap like that. So I identify with Jerry. Now enough about me. So now we're back to there, and uh, now baby, she's performing like I told you. Now she's gonna come down and she's actually gonna talk to the audience like some performers do. She gets to first she gets to Denise, and she does something to Denise. I don't remember what, and then she gets to Mary, and I think gets Mary's cheeks a little bit, and Mary's like, get away from me, and sticks out her like, and then she gets to Jerry, and I don't know, probably gets his cheeks too, something like that. Then she finally gets to Bill and gets on top of Bill's lap in front of Mary, and Mary's like, "Get off her!" and gets really mad. Get off my boyfriend, and she gets really upset. And and then she gets on, baby gets on Bill's lap, the taller gentleman, and yeah, she gets on his lap. So Mary it's like, get off him, get off my boyfriend. Mary pushes baby off Bill's lap, and then when so now baby's on the floor, and she says she shouldn't have done that. Says a bad word, and and Mary's like, she's a freaking nut, and then. And then baby says something really important, like, "I'm gonna get your boobs and cut them off and feed them your mouth." I am sorry. I am sorry, folks. This is very. I mean, this movie can get bad with that. Um, and then Mother Butterfly picks up baby and says, "Baby, I've told you not to." And then baby's like, "She had it coming, whatever." And then finally, thank goodness, Rufus comes in, and Rufus looks weird, man. RJ. He has like a bear costume on, a bear hat thing, and he's all covered with fur. And he goes, "The car's ready." And then Mother Butterfly's like, "I suggest you all leave." And as soon as they all leave, all four of them, you see it's an act, because baby and Mother Butterfly, remember Mother Butterfly, Mother Butterfly, "I told you, you should watch your behavior." Well, both of them start laughing once they leave, so you could tell it's all like that. It was all like what Mother Butterfly was doing. So Bill, Jerry, Denise, and Mary, they leave. They go in the car, and they take off, and they're like in a hurry. "Let's get out of here." Before they take off, you see baby is at the window, like, ah! She's at their car window, like, like, oh, like she wants to attack them. And I believe Mother Butterfly too's at the window. Ah! And they're like, "Let's get out of here," and they take off. I believe Bill's driving. Bill's driving in the rain, and I remember it was raining, if I'm correct. Bill's driving, like, "Let's get out of here." So they take off. He's taking off, and he stops, and the girls are like, "Excuse me, why are you stopping?" And Bill's like, "I gotta get the front gate." Bill goes to open the front gate, so he has to get out in the water and all that. And then you have these crosses that are, somewhat maybe like 10, 15 feet away from the car, and they have masks on. I think one of them has a pumpkin mask or something. And then one of the people, like, they look like they're two people with masks on that thing. One of them gets down. I believe it's Otis. Otis gets down, attacks Jerry, hits him with a bat or hits him with something. And then Jerry's like, "I'm gonna go help him." Oh, Jerry showed some balls to get off, so he goes to go help him. He goes, and then a second person, another cross, gets down. Like, it's Tiny. Tiny is huge, and I forgot Tiny was at the dinner table. Sorry about that. And so Tiny gets out, and you see Tiny. He's deformed from the face. This is the first time I mentioned Tiny. He's super huge, man. I don't know. He may be close to 7 feet tall. He looks really big. He's probably taller than Captain Spaulding. Captain Spaulding's at least 6'6". But Tiny, so his hands are kind of deformed. I think one of them looks web-like, whatever. And they had mentioned, I forgot. I'm not gonna mention the whole movie, but they did mention before at the dinner table that Tiny was burned really bad because his dad went crazy. His name, I think the dad's name was Earl, but they don't show Earl right here, and I get a little bit confused about the Earl thing. That his dad had went crazy one time and put the house on fire, and Tiny's the one that got it. He's the one that got. He's the only one I think he got burned because nobody else looks burned. He gets burned. His face humiliated. His one of his hands looks like a web, whatever, and he's huge. Okay, now back to the action. I got into the action where Bill got off the car and Otis attacked him with a bat using the mask and he jumped off the cross. Jerry goes to go help him. When Jerry goes to go help him, the second person jumps down, which is Tiny, which is super huge, and he attacks Jerry. So they're both down and they're both out. For one thing, I guess Otis is pretty strong, and he sabotaged Bill in the back, and these two guys don't look like they know how to fight. Jerry goes to help, and Tiny attacks him. Now it's funny because Bill is tall, but he looks like a geek. He probably looks like he can't defend himself. But you should think that it would be nice if Bill took on Tiny because they're the tallest ones from their groups. But anyways, Otis ends up taking out Bill, and Tiny ends up taking out Jerry, and Jerry's shorter, so he should have took on Otis, but what the circumstances is, the bad guys are not gonna fight fair, so Tiny takes out Jerry. I think they throw one of them through the windshield or something, I don't know, but they take him out, and if it was something through the windshield was Jerry. They're in trouble. Now they're taken out now. Now you got the girls in the back seat. They're hiding whatever. Tiny, Otis and Tiny are done taking out Bill and Jerry, they are going to go after the girls. I believe Tiny breaks a window. He's trying to get them, and they're gonna show. That's all they show of that. But you already know that there's almost zero chance that 1 to 0 that the girls are gonna escape. So now they are in trouble. Now, we're gonna get to Frank Hudson making a phone call. The sheriff from the very beginning, the one near that was near the robbery, and he probably left or whatever. Frank Hudson, the sheriff, is gonna call Don Wilson. Now, Don Wilson is the father of Denise Wilson, one of the girls that got captured by the by these by this bad family. And Don calls Frank and says, "Hey, my daughter was supposed to come in. She didn't come in. She was supposed to be at this here, and she has not arrived." And then Frank says, "Well, they probably got stuck in the mud." But Frank's like, "I'll check it out." So you have that. Then they're gonna show Mary. They're gonna show the group all these different rooms. With Mary, they had a dunce hat on her. It's really funny. It's like a dunce hat is a hat they used to use back in the day when a kid got in trouble in school. They sit him down and put a dunce. They can't move, whatever. But she's tied up. Otis comes and harasses her. And he's like, work, work. He's saying all this weird stuff. He goes, "And blood is forever." I think he's covered in blood. He has some kind of weird shirt. I don't remember what the shirt said. And Mary was concerned about her boyfriend. She goes, "Bill, what about Bill?" No, not the movie Bill, but I also feel like saying, "What about Bob?" That's another movie. And then Otis says, "You want to see Bill? Look, fish boy." He has a curtain. He pulls a curtain over, and it's a grotesque thing. They have killed Bill. No, not killed Bill the movie. I'm sorry. Every time I say that, I think of the movie. They have killed Bill. I ain't gonna say nothing anymore after that. And Bill was the taller guy, Mary's boyfriend. He has glasses on, and I believe he's shirtless. And then they have chopped him up where he no longer has legs, and the bottom part of he does have a bottom part, but it's from a fish. And I don't know. They made a human sculpture, and it's really grotesque. So it has the fish's bottom going to a fins. They made like a merman or fish boy or whatever, merman. So And Mary still has guts. After seeing that, she still says, "You effing freak." She's still talking back. So man, that girl has balls, even though she's a female. Um, then you get also to they have Jerry hostage. He's tied up in a chair. Baby comes to him and says, "Hey," he says, "Hey, what are you doing?" or whatever, blah blah blah. She goes, "I'm gonna let you answer this question, or whatever. Who's my favorite actress?" And then Jerry says, Marilyn Monroe. She's like, "No, it's Betty Davis." And she goes, "You're gonna be tortured for that." So she cuts his hair, and then later on, after missing a question, whatever, she scalps Jerry, and I guess she don't take too much out, but it's pretty cool that she takes off some meat from the hair, and obviously it's not enough because you really scalp somebody, you're gonna kill them, and he's still alive, so he's still alive and kicking, even though they've already chopped off some of his meat on the top of his head. I mean, she really Indian scalped him, but like I say, not that much. If it was a lot, she would have killed him. It is funny, Quinn, because first when she cuts his hair, she puts her hair on him like a mustache, and he's like spitting it out. So and they have um, they have Denise. There's a there's a scene where with Denise, she's tied up to a bed. Tiny's there eating cereal. Now this part I question. I don't know what's up. She's tied up, and now they have her dressed like um, Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. I mean, she has a blue suit. I think she may even have the red shoes. I'm not sure. And she's not gagged, so she's able to talk to Tiny. Tiny sits down eating some cereal, and then his costume says cheap. He has a shirt that says cheap ass costume or something like that from Halloween. And then he's just like, "Let me go, please, let me go." And uh, Tiny actually he unties her. She's like, thank you very much." And she's like, "I'm gonna go now." She's trying to walk out the doorway. Otis comes, he gets her, and I really question this part. He throws her into another room in the bed. She's on the bed, and then some cage closes, and as soon as that happens, like four or three girls jump on top of her, and that's the last we see of uh of the Denise. So that's really weird. That is super weird, and I never think about this movie, but I don't. I'm trying to remember the last cheerleader that was surviving with a baby. Is like, what happened with her. Now we're gonna get to. Now I'm gonna discuss that we're gonna be back at Captain Spaulding's place. I like this stuff. We're gonna have two new characters. We're gonna have Deputy George Wydell, and we're gonna have another Deputy Steve Nash. Now it looks like Wydell is the senior deputy there, so he's gonna do most of the talking. Uh, they go to the counter to Captain Spaulding. They ring the bell, and Captain Spaulding comes out. It's like he knew they were gonna come because he has a pig face on his shirt, and it has a hat on. Now, for you younger people back in the day, don't know younger, they would I don't know if they still do it, but they would refer to cops as pigs. That's why he has the pig face, and it has a pig. I mean, a police hat on. So maybe with a star, I don't remember. So for sure they're making fun of cops. And Captain Spaulding's like, "Man, help you?" And George Weddell does most of the talking. He's like, "Have you?" He shows him a picture. "Have you seen these people? Whatever, this girl." And he's like, "Who were they with? And where do you know?" And then I don't know why, I don't remember, but Captain Spaulding reversed to, I was busy with a girl or something. She was overweight. It's more cushy for the pushing. And then the other deputy, Steve Nash, goes, "No, look, man, we don't look you clown. We don't want to know about your love life. We want to know what happened to these people." And then Captain Spaulding says, "Well, they oh hell, they were in here, and they got into all this thing in their head about Doctor Satan and all that, and they went." And then he goes, "Well, where did they?" Deputy Whitedale's like, "Where'd they go?" And he's like, "Well, I told him where to go down the road. I showed him the map." And then Whitedale starts getting mad because Captain Spaulding's still giving crap, and then Whitedale gets him by the collar and says, "You know, you know, why don't you draw me a map right now? You know, I'm kind of like I'm not messing around." And and Whitedale gives Deputy Whitedale gives Captain Spaulding a pad and a pen or a pencil to write it down. So now we're off. Um, so we're gonna have Whitedale and Nash trying to find them. Um, what happened is Frank Hudson, their boss, the sheriff, he had been talking to Don Wilson about the situation, and he's gonna send Don Wilson, which is Denise Bill's girlfriend. Uh, he's gonna he's gonna send him with to work with Whitedale and Steve Nash, the deputies. Now, George Whitedale and Steve Nash, they're hanging out somewhere, and they're near near some mechanic shop. I'll never forget this part because the sheriff's car, there's a mechanic leaning against the car, and Steve Nash tells him, "Hey you, hey you damn grease monkey, this is not your living room," something like that. Get off the car. Mechanic takes off. Steve Nash brings a coke to he has a coke. The really nice cokes, man. The bottle ones back in the day, they still sell them, I guess, but back then they were big. They used to sell them in machines. Well, anyway, Steve Nash has a coke. He gives another coke to Whitedale. They're chilling out. And you're gonna see that they're waiting for Don Wilson to come, Denise's dad, because he's still concerned. He wants to be in it. And Frank had told him, the deputies, that Don Wilson is a ex police officer. He might be able to help. So they're gonna be on their way, and they're gonna go look. They talk, and Deputy Whitedale tells Don, "Hey, Steve Nash to say, don't worry, we're gonna find your girl and your daughter and all that." And they got some local ranch houses that they're gonna check out. So they're gonna go. So the deputies and Don Wilson are gonna go check out some ranch houses. They get to a ranch house. They get there, and they are at the correct ranch house this time. And you see that you got Otis and Grandpa Hugo are hanging out. Looks like Grandpa Hugo's room. And you see Grandpa Hugo. He's he's watching the old show, the Monsters Black and White show, and it shows like the Frankenstein dad. I forgot his name, something monster. The main character. He's drag racing in the TV in the black and white show, and then and then Grandpa Hugo says, "Driving, I'll show you driving." He's eating a TV dinner at the same time, and then Otis is like leaning back on a chair near him, and then Otis tells, your fat ass can't even drive," and then Hugo gets up like he wants to do something to Otis, and then Otis shows his knife and goes, "Don't you start with me, Hugo." And So that's that, and I think there they have Jerry tied up and and on the wall, and Otis is throwing knives at him. Like if I hit him, who cares? And he throws one knife, and it like almost hits Jerry's head. It hits him in the side, sticks to the wall. I'm like, okay, wow. Um, Firefly, she sees that they're coming, the deputies, and she goes to tell Otis, "Hey, we got deputies here. We got law enforcement here." And then Otis goes, "Well, I have to do everything." And then he gives a gun to Mother Firefly. She's like, "Take this," and he's like, "I have to do everything around here." And then Grandpa Hugo like throws him the finger when they leave. And Otis tells Mother Firefly, "Hey, go play nice with the cops, and and pigs running packs." When he says the pigs, referring to the deputies again, and he goes, "I'm gonna take care of it too." What happens is, they're gonna what the deputies and Don Wilson or Willis or Don are gonna do is, George Whitedale tells them, "I'm gonna go to the front door. You guys go to the back." So Nash and Don are gonna go to the back, and they're gonna go explore. Um, so we got this dude going at the same time. White George Whitedale goes to the front door, and there's Mother Firefly answers, and he's like, "Ma'am, I need that. We're looking for some, this woman and some a group." And Mother Firefly goes, "Oh yeah, really?" And she's flirting with him, trying to distract him. And he's like, "Yes, ma'am. Can I come in? And here's a picture." And then he wants to come in, and she's like, "No, I don't think so." And she's about to slam the door, and then he actually puts his weight on the door when she tries to close it. He goes, "Ma'am, it won't take a second." And she's like, "All right." She takes it to the table, and they start talking now. But we're gonna go at the same time. Don and Steve Nash, the deputy, they go around, they see a bunch of junk, a dog scares them, and they're looking around, they're seeing the dolls, they're seeing all this weird stuff, and they're like, Steve Nash is like, "Don't these people have a garage sale or something?" Now we go back to George, Deputy Wydell. Now he's sitting at a table with Mother Butterfly. Same thing. She's flirting with him. He's showing him the pictures, or flirting back a little bit, or he's not flirting. He's just trying to get along. You would think he looks like a good man. And so they're talking at the table, and he's showing him the pictures. Have you seen them? Whatever. And she's stalling and just flirting with him. And we're gonna go back to Steve Nash and Don. They go, and then they see that, I think they hear something or whatever, and they go to like a garage thingy. It's locked. I think he opens it, or Jimmy's, I don't know what. And then they see a girl. I think it's Mary. It has to be Mary. She's tied up like this to chains like that, and her legs are tied. And she's yelling, and she's half naked. She only has a bra and panties on. And she's yelling, and then Steve Nash gets on the horn. He gets on the walkie-talkie to talk to Wydell, and then Wydell's talking to Mother Butterfly. He says, "Excuse me, man." Uh, George Wydell, Deputy Wydell, answers. He's like, "Yeah," and so he's about to answer. Mother Butterfly takes out a gun and shoots Wydell back in the head, instantly killing him, and he falls to the floor. Um, so Deputy George Wydell is now dead. Mother Butterfly has killed him in the back of the head, like cowardly, whatever, and he goes down. And then you got Steve Nash and Don, and Otis surprises them. He tells and it gets all kind of quiet in a way, but you see their mouths speaking, whatever. Otis confronts Don. He surprises him, so Otis has a gun, and he he has he has Don and Steve surprised. Otis kills Don. He shoots Don, and then Don was running with his back turned. He falls in a puddle face first, and then you see for a long time, it's like 3 or 4 seconds. He gets Steve Nash to drop the gun, and um he got Steve Nash, Deputy Steve Nash. Tell him he gets on his knees, and he waits like 3 or 4 seconds. It's a dramatic scene, and Otis puts the gun in Steve Nash's head, and he kills the he kills Steve Nash. He shoots him in the head, and you see like it's funny. You see like smoke going like, so they're all dead. All three rescuers are dead. The only hope they had are dead. Mary's still tied up. After that, we got there. We're gonna go back. Now it's nighttime. Baby and Rufus are at at our liquor store. It's called something pussy liquor, whatever. Excuse my language. That's what it's called. There's a big there's a big fat guy at the counter, really big with glasses. Um, Baby walks in with Rufus. Rufus already has like boxes of beer and all that. And I have to mention this part 'cause I think it's funny. It just details stuff that just makes it funny. Uh, Baby calls the that guy Goober, but he goes, "No, my name is as a tag. It's really Jerry O. And the owner made me wear this F&A hole and stuff like that." And then she's like, "How much do we owe you, Goober?" And he's like, "The financial stability or whatever is quite steep. It's like $180 like that." And then and then Baby said, "You ain't gonna break my bank, honey. Here you go, Goober." I think she gave him a tip. And she's like, and he's like, "Thank you for coming to something pussy liquor," and then they leave. And the thing I'm thinking is, Baby, um, I'm thinking that Baby, all this money they get it from all the people they kill and stuff like that. Because later on, you're gonna find out these are not the only people they killed. They've been doing this for a while. So they leave with the liquor. They paid for the liquor. Now we're back to the family house where they're all kept hostage. Um, they're acting weird. They have the liquor. They've been drinking. Baby, Otis, Hugo. They're all the bad guys are there. Otis, Rufus, and they're waiting for Otis. And what Otis has done, you see him cutting out the face of Don Willis, and he's cutting off the face. He's cutting off body parts. They're preparing for something, and then everybody's downstairs and they're yelling, "Otis, Otis, Otis." So they're expecting Otis for something. Otis comes down. He comes in a robe, whatever, and he has. It looks like he's cut the body off. Also, Don, Don, Denise's dad. So he has all the skin and stuff like that, kind of like a Texas Chainsaw, Leatherface kind of deal. And he also has the face of Don, Denise's dad. So oh my gosh, Denise is there. They're all there. The ones that have survived. Bill is dead, so he's not here. So there's still the three that are alive. It's still Mary, Denise, and Jerry. They're the ones that are alive, and they have them in bunny costumes. Wild, weird kind of stuff. So now they're still screaming Otis. Otis, like I tell you, Otis comes down. Don Don Willis's face and his body, and he comes down, and then baby and her mom is saying, "Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" All this stuff, and Otis is like, "Who's the one that comes in the dark?" Stuff like that. "Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" Whatever. And then a grotesque part, he goes to Denise and he knows that, like, I don't know how he knows, but he knows that Dawn's face is her actual father, and she's like, "Daddy," and then Otis takes off the face and puts it on. the cut off face of it, her father, and puts it in her face like ha 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 ha. And at that one point he had it on. I think he started trying to kiss her, stuff like that, weird stuff like that. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna tie up Jerry, Mary, and Denise, and they're all in bunny costumes, and they're gonna take them outside for a walk. And all of them are gonna take them from Grandpa Hugo to Otis, Baby, Mother Butterfly. They're all walking down. Tiny's there, I believe. Yeah, Tiny's there later, and I'll talk about him later. They're walking them down. They're walking all their prisoners, put it simply, and they take them to this place. It's like a well. I don't know what. It's like a well. What happens is that Mary is going to escape, and she starts running, and Otis gets mad, like, "Oh, go get her," and like, yeah, like the baby's like, "Let me go get her. Let me go kill her," and she's like, "Oh yeah, go kill her." So Baby chases after Mary, and Mary's in the bunny outfit running away. And she's running far, and then she stops at the like a cemetery or something. Baby catches up to her, and she starts stabbing. She drops Mary, starts stabbing her. Now remember, they had the rivalry. Mary's the one that kicked Baby off her Bill's lap, and she told her stuff. So there was a rivalry, and that's what you're gonna think. That's what you're gonna know. That Baby has won this rivalry because they were at words at each other and all that, fighting over Bill. And so Baby has taken out Mary. She has won the rivalry. She stabs Mary on the floor with her bunny outfit several times, and then she even licks the blood, and she's like laughing. Okay. And then the rest of them, you still got Jerry and Denise. They're still alive. And they're gonna drop them they're gonna put them in a coffin, and they're gonna lower them to the well. Now, this is a weird part too. They're gonna drop a tape recorder, saying some satanic words. It looks like satanic words, and they're gonna drop it down in the well with them. So they're gonna drop them in the well, and then they are doing that. They're dropping it. Now Tiny is there because he's helping bringing them down. It's like a lever that can bring them down with a rope. So they're going down. And I'm going to stop there because I'm not going to spoil the ending for you. I just wanted to go over some parts. I don't know, there are too many, whatever. But I brought in the parts I wanted to talk about and that I really liked. And I'm in it there. No, I'm not going to spoil the end for you because it is one of my favorite movies. It's really good. It's really weird. If you like weird stuff, watch this. Now, I need to go back when Denise was tied up to the bed and they dressed her up as Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. I guess they're mocking her. And Tiny released her, and then she tried to walk out, and Otis got her and threw her into another bed, and then a cage closed, and then 3 girls jumped on it. Why? What are those girls? Who are they? What are they? Why? You would think they attacked her and killed her and ate her or something. But she's still here, so what did they do to her? They threw her in the bed and 3 girls jumped on her. What are they, zombies, whatever? Acting weird? Or are they brainwashed? That's one thing I question. I don't want to question. I mean, it's really cool. Sometimes when you don't know, it's more cooler. And that's one kind of thing. But the thing is, it makes me think. I'm a curious cat. I want to know. So that's one thing I'm like, well, I don't understand that much. But it's fine. I guess it's fine. Sometimes the little mystery is good. Sometimes it makes it good. Sometimes it makes it bad. You know, if y'all let me know about that, I will try to, on my live chat rooms, I want y'all's opinion, what you think of that. What happened? I would like to know. If I get one person to give you another opinion on there, I would like to know. That's how I got into doing movie reviews. I started off with Day of the Dead Bloodline. Sometimes I ask myself, let me express this to you guys. I'm sorry, but I'm already done with the movie, but I want to express it. This is what I do a review, and this is my opinion. Just sometimes I question things. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I got lost, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Day of the Dead Bloodline. How I got started in doing movie reviews. I asked myself, why do I do this? I'm like, why? And I'm doing this because I was like you. I was watching. And I watched this movie Day of the Dead Bloodline, which I want to do a review soon. And I thought, man, this movie sucks. But I want to know what somebody else thinks. And I went to go look at people doing the review, and I'm like, I saw their opinions. I'm like, wow, they're giving another take on it. It's a different take, and I like to learn from other people. And I'm like, wow, I never thought about that. This is the same thing. Now that's what inspired me to do these movie reviews because I went looking for a reviewer, and now y'all can look for a reviewer, and you could get my take on that, and I want to see your take on it, and hopefully we'll get other people's take in it. Hopefully one day that happen. I want somebody to comment on that. Why did those three people attack Denise? They jumped in her bed when Otis threw in there, and then the cage closed. I want to know. Now, now that I'm ending the review. I would like to say once again I like this movie. There's mystery. I know a lot of people. It's not their cup of tea. It's my cup of tea because I like weird stuff. I like weird horror stuff. I find it funny. Life has been kind of harsh to me, so I've gotten stronger. So a lot of this stuff doesn't scare me. It makes me laugh actually. Before, when I was a kid, I was scared of everything. I would hide behind couches and all these scary movies. Like, oh, my family watching, my brothers and sisters, I'd be like, oh, watching, like from the couch, all scared, whatever. Now life has humbled me. I've gotten stronger. I actually laugh at this stuff. I ain't gonna say there's no movie that can scare me, but there's maybe a couple of them out there. Terrifier gives me, goosebumps because that clown is so scary. But I'll watch it. I'll watch it again. I even tell myself I'll watch it. If it scares me a little bit, I'll watch it to get stronger. I used to watch zombie movies and making me mentally stronger. All right, I'm babbling too much, but I do love this movie. I love Captain Spaulding. He's so huge, big, tiny, and he's okay. Baby, some people say she has bad acting. I don't see it. I think she has to act crazy. I don't see nothing wrong with her bad as acting. She has to act weird and crazy. You know, I don't have a problem with her acting. Bill, Jerry, Denise, all of them. The actors that played them were great. I did not see anything wrong. Very entertaining. I found Captain Spaulding very funny. Otis is funny. Baby sort of funny. Jerry and Bill, they were the victims that got killed, and they were kind of funny. Um, but I'm gonna say this is. I'm gonna have to end this now. My name is Alberto. Age. Um, my name's Alberto. Age Destroyer 48. I will see you next time. Bye.